Welcome to the PokeMitchell Podcast TV. You know what I'm saying? Hey, today, man, we got a real good one today, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, man, I'm going to change it up a little bit, man. It's 2025, man. Hey, shout out to all the families, man, that lost so much in the fires, man, here in LA, man. You know what I'm saying? Man, we human, man. You know what I'm saying? If you don't feel it in your heart, man, you know, if you can't feel for other people, man, what they going through, you know, the devastation, man, you know, especially of losing, you know, a lot of things that, you know, you may have accumulated through over the years, you know, things that your mother and father left behind, man. And, man, it's devastating, man. So let's keep them people in prayer, man. And shout out to everybody, man, that's stepping up to the plate, man, and doing something about it, man. Doing more than just talking about it, man. You know what I'm saying? But they're actively involved, man. And, man, let's get this thing together, man. You know what I'm saying? And California love, always. You know why? Because they not like us. At all. At all. West Los Angeles. Welcome to the PokeMitchell Podcast. And you know, I'm starting a new thing this year, man, 2025, man. Nothing is off limits. But I will be keeping it positive. As positive as I can keep it, man. My journey has been one of a lot of pain, a lot of happiness, a lot of joy. Finding God, I have matured into knowing what my life is about, what my journey is about, and the lessons in it. And so, 2025 is going to be one that you probably learn a lot more about me. Maybe my lessons, my life lessons that I've gone through. Maybe you can learn something off of it, and if you can't, still, all blessings to you. I remember when I was locked up, man. I had got transferred from Salinas Valley to the old courtroom. And, around that time that I had transferred from Salinas Valley to Corcoran, it was getting close to the time where they, where Tookie Williams' life was coming close to an end. Tookie Williams, the founder of the West Side Crips, is who I'm talking about. At that time, man, I had been, on my stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? A young West LA, gangster, doing time. At the time, I had 25 to life. At that time, I wasn't even thinking about daylight. I wasn't caring about too much of anything other than the type of person, the type of man that I was gonna be while doing this time. And, I've looked on YouTube and I've seen a lot of things being said, man. A lot of things that I feel like that has been taken away from a lot of black soldiers. whether they be Crips in prison, whether they be the Bloods in prison. I had so much respect for soldier type of comrades in the prison. And man, some I looked up to, and some I aligned myself with, because I felt that we seen things the same, on the same level. We went about doing our time the same, whether it be a Crip or a Blood, whether it be a neighborhood or a gangster. And when I got to the old corporate, I remember when I first got there, I remember being on they have you when you first get there, they put you in this one in this excuse me, they put you in this one building where you have to wait at least 2 weeks before they let you out to the main line. At that time, I was just thinking about a lot of things, man, at the time, man. I wanted to go home. I couldn't understand that the stuff I was doing life for, that I was, even had a life sentence for, a non-violent crime. But we all know that what they did with that 3-strike law, which caused a lot of blacks, Latinos, poor whites, others, a lot of minorities, that if they didn't come out with that 3-strike law, probably wouldn't have gotten took off the street in the matter that they did. But I wanted to tell this story because I heard a lot of people talk about what they did when Tookie passed away, or what people didn't do when he passed away. At that time before he passed away, I was pretty hardcore in prison. And man, I was with all the bullshit, but one of the things that I carried with me from the county jail was the fact that I was strong on being a black man, because all the riots that I had been through while being in the county, fighting my case. And the county jail will season you in that way. And the penitentiary actually puts you on the same level as every other man in there. Some people didn't like carrying knives. Some people did. I love knives. I felt like that I was always at a disadvantage. So I was gonna carry a knife and use it. It didn't matter if it was somebody that just wanted to fight. I would probably fight you, then stab you. But for the most part, what that knife carrying did for me, it earned me a lot of respect. And, I went to the penitentiary with wanting to make sure that I was going to always be on top, no matter what. What the Mexicans did for my for my journey, once I hit the prison, was that I was going to have a knife with me and I was going to draw blood from it. Because that's what they did. And, my mentality was, if you was a shooter on the streets, then you was going to be with the knife play in prison. But it's not always like that. You could be a shooter on the streets and come to prison and be scared to death to have a knife in your hand. A lot of people was, a lot of people respected me, but they feared me. Because for someone to have enough heart to stab somebody, you have to understand this. On the streets, anybody can do a drive-by, man. You don't even got to get out the car. You don't even got to see the person. You could just drive by and see people hanging out and start to shoot at them. But when you're doing time, especially when you're in prison, like I said, when everybody has the same advantage. Unless it's just not in you, then you're probably not going to have that, or look at the fact that you have the same advantage as the next man. But whenever you have to stab another man, you can't drive by and do it. You have to walk up on the person. So people actually feared people that had enough balls to walk up on somebody and hit them, and hit them, and hit them. And that's exactly what I was about, man. I wasn't going out, So I remember Tookie Williams. I had heard a lot about Tookie Williams. I remember running into one of my favorite homeboys, OG, who I respect, Cash Register. And Cash Register giving me some history. Cash Register wasn't the only one that I ran into while doing penitentiary time. Who gave me some history on things, on Crips, on penitentiary stuff. Pretty Boy from 6-0 was another one. I looked at Pretty Boy like if he was one of my OGs, because when he sat down with me, it was genuine. And he would talk to me as if I was from his hood. And I respected Pretty Boy. Shout out to Pretty Boy, rest in peace to Pretty Boy. And it was other G's, Big Football from A-Tray Gangster. Big Cutes. It was a lot of real dudes. Mac Baby from Palmer Block. Big Jonesy from Santana, J-Dog. Just a lot of people that I looked at as OGs that respected me and knew that I was a soldier and would always keep it real with me. But like I said, I had heard the stories about Tookie. And, the penitentiary was different. It was more different than how YA was. When you went to YA, Camp YA, you was just trying to be the downest dude from where you was from, where you was claiming. The penitentiary was different in this aspect. You wanted people to know, as a whole, if you was a Crip, you wanted them to know that you was a down Crip, no matter what Crip set you was claiming. Because everything was just measured at the highest level, even with the Bloods. And so, I remember, I remember getting off of orientation when I was in the old corporate. And maybe the first or the second day that I was off orientation, I was on the basketball court. And I remember Track from A-Track Gangster was on the basketball court. And basketball being my favorite sport, man. I'm like, man, I'm about to play me some basketball, see who off and about to come out, and But one of the things that before I got off orientation, I sent word for the homies to give me a strap. I don't care about no soups. I don't care about no dope. None of that. Just give me a strap and I'll take it from there. So when I came off orientation, I had that strap with me. And I had met one of the homies from Marvin. Me being from Playboy Gangster, Marvin is like a brother set to us, family, our allies. And I hadn't never met this guy before. He was from Marvin, claiming Marvin, and he was I'm on the basketball court shooting the basketball, and I got my knife on me. I'm just shooting the ball, waiting for everybody to come out, and I'm gonna play me some ball. And I just hear some how when you hear that fist connected to that skin, that I'm just, I happen to turn around and I see it's a homie from Marvin, that I met on orientation. He had snuck in my building when I was on orientation, and let me know that he was from Marvin. So that's all I know. I didn't know him, but just being the fact that he was claiming Marvin, which was, like I said, my brother set, my allies set. I seen the dude he fighting, like swinging at him, and I'm looking at dude's hand, and he got what looked like a knife to me, swinging it at him. So I run up on him. I drop the basketball and immediately run up. And when I run up, both of them just stop swinging at each other. And all I was doing was just trying to get in striking distance. All dude kept saying is, "Hey man, it's between me and him." I'm like, what? I'm acting like I can't hear nothing. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to get in striking distance. I'm like, what? What you say? I can't hear what? And the homie from Marvin, he don't know me. He know of me, but he don't know me. So, I'm like, man, what you say? Like, man, it's between me and him. I'm looking out the, out the corner of my eye, looking at his hand, and it's blurry, but I'm really looking at him, but I'm just looking at the, that little blurry eye is looking at that knife, what I thought he had in his hand. And as soon as I got in striking distance, man, I knew I had to strike fast. I didn't know at the time, I didn't know Lil Timmy Tucker from A-Train Gangster. He was on the yard. He had the gangsters on the yard at the time, you know. And he was on the handball court, but they watching me. I walk up. He let me get in striking distance. Timmy Tucker used to say call me a piranha. When he seen me do that, I get up on dude, and I said, okay, he done let me get in striking distance. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Hit him in that eye. Bah! Blood started dripping down from his eye. After I hit him in the eye, I looked down. And I said, this dude got a pen. I got the real thing. And he started to back up. I'm going to finish him off. And he kind of running. I'm like walking fast. He kind of running. And all I hear is Track from A-Train Gangster say, Poke. He had, he didn't really know me at the time. They just know who I was. Like, Poke. Because the police was like 2 buildings over searching people coming out. So this is why I got away, and the police didn't see it, because whenever, you got people coming out the building, all the police would go to that building to search everybody coming out. So, I just said, fuck it. When Track said, man, you got away. I wasn't tripping really, but he Track pulled like, hey, Poke, you got away. You ain't got to chase him. You know what I'm saying? So I go back and grab the basketball, put the knife back in my pants, boom. And I'm watching dude. I see dude go to the sink area on the yard, and he on the yard like he doing some army, he doing some soldier shit. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? I gotta give it to him on that. He making mud out of water and dirt, and he's patching his shit up. And 2 little homies from Gangster at the time walked up to me on the basketball court like, hey homie, you want us to go finish him off? I'm like, man, look, man, I go finish him off, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I started laughing at it because they was young, but I always try to lead by example, man. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't know Timmy Tucker at the time, but I seen Timmy Tucker go over there. I get to do damage control with him, at the time that, this is what I later found out. And I'm thinking that he probably was another one of his homeboys. I'm like, okay, I'm finna get cracking. And next thing I know, all the gangsters on the yard, they call a meeting. And I'm like, I'm shooting basketball, you know what I'm saying? But man, I'm like, one thing about me, man, I'm really from my hood, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, like everybody else from their hood, man, you know what I'm saying? And thinking that they homeboys, is the downest. You hear dudes on the internet always talking about and acting like, that they got the downest homeboys, in LA, you know what I'm saying? And, you supposed to think that, man, you know what I'm saying? I thought that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I thought that nobody homeboys was down in their mind, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, being that I grew up around my homies, I knew about a lot of my G homies before I even met them, before I started banging. And then, once I was able to, walk them streets with them, man, it was just, you couldn't tell me nothing about my homeboys, man. You know what I'm saying? My homeboys was the downest. You feel me? Like, and just me being bred under that, that's how I always walked. So, when Timmy Tucker called a meeting with with all the gangsters on the yard, I said, fuck, let me go see what this is. Because, I was pushing with the gangsters. And, I go over there. And when I get to the circle, you know what I'm saying, I hear some stuff that shouldn't be said, but I'm just, like I say, I'm just, just by, Timmy Tucker was telling the fellas that, next time somebody get into it, to let him know before he before a motherfucker get out. And that's not the way, that's not how I'm ever gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? But I understood after the fact where he was coming from, you know what I'm saying, because he had the keys to the gangster card, you know what I'm saying? But I wasn't really trying to understand that, because that ain't how you teach a motherfucker to get down when you get mad at, and then the homies will follow suit later on or whatever. You feel me? So when I heard him say that, I said, man, I said, homie, check this. I said, check this out. Everybody started looking at me, because they, niggas is like, this the homie that just buzzed on, and they go to the yard, and then Timmy Tucker was doing the talking, and he just like butt in. I said, man, check this out, bro. If a Playboy or Marvin get into it while I'm on the yard, I'm not coming to tell nobody nothing. I'm getting cracking. And Timmy Tucker was like, man, he was like, man, no, I ain't talking about you. But, he was talking, you know what I'm saying? But, so after that, Timmy Tucker came and introduced himself to me and shit, man. And that's when I first met him. But, man, I tell that story because, that's the type of soldier that I was when I was in there, man. And like I said, I was more so the type of soldier, man, that I felt like I always fought for what was right. Whether, one of my Crip partners was in the wrong and it went down, and I happened to, be help out, man. I always tried to just do everything the right way for the most part, but I was in the old corporate for a short period of time before Tookie passed away, and I happened to the dorm, the building that they put me in, I happened to meet one of the downest homies that I've ever met while doing time, man. And that's my nigga Frog from 30s, man, from the 9, man. You know what I'm saying? Good nigga, man. Straight soldier, bro. Good brother, man. Good brother, man. In life, man, you run into people, and it was meant for you to run into him, man. I'm a believer, man. I believe in God, man, and it was meant for me to run into that brother, man. Frog had was bred the right way, man. If you fuck with him, man, I don't care where you from, man. You could be from fucking Sacramento, Crip. You know what I'm saying? If you ride with him, man, Frog is gonna teach everybody around him the right way. He gonna treat them right. And, this when a person is a good leader, man, or being bred right, man. When a motherfucker take a fade for you, ain't got nothing to do with nothing, but because, you maybe want somebody that he mess with, like that, man, and he know if it's a dude that you get into it with that maybe trying to bully or bigger than the person that hanging with him, man, he'll take that fade, man. He a good dude, man. He a good dude. And me and Frog hit it off, man. That was one of the downest Crips that I ever met in prison, man. I love Frog, man. And I got funny stories about Frog, man, that had you laughing and shit, man. You know what I'm saying? That nigga's so real, man. He a good nigga, man. But, our building, man, was one of the buildings when I was in New Cork, and that was always going off, man. Had a ride with the white boys up in there. There was a couple of brothers that didn't get down. You know, we had to discipline them. You know what I'm saying? You know, and for the most part, man, you you had the Comptons in there, you had, Watts in there, and you had L.A. Crips in there, man. You know, we had a cool little crew, man. You know, and even though Frog was a leader and I was a leader, man, we put ourselves on the front line for our crew. That's just how we was. Frog kept 9 knives in his cell, but it was all other homies' knives because Frog had a hacksaw, and he cut the bed open. You know, it's a little part on the bed, that you can, with a hacksaw, you can cut it open, and then you can slide the knives up in there, man, and then glue that shit back on, man. And whenever we knew the police was coming, everybody would give Frog they knives and shit, and Frog would sit on them motherfuckers during lockdown, during search, get away every time. And I always kept extras that wasn't sharp yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, I always camouflaged them motherfuckers in my cell, man, and I used to get away all the time. But man, I was always at that time, man, I was always kept myself around good homies, man. And like I said, I respected other soldiers, man. It was Bloods that I respected, man, that I had love for, man. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, man, when you in prison, it's like, your cripping actually matures into a status that you probably never would have thought, man. I seen people come to prison, weak, maybe not as down as they counterparts, but by the time they leave, from hanging around the right, people in the prison, they leave strong, man. They leave more educated, they leave with more heart, And so, man, we ran into a little problem. And this was all before Tookie, before they killed Tookie, man. It was this one cat in our building, man, that was in the cell with the homie Frog. And he played his way up out the building, man, because Frog from 190 East Coast came from another prison and had shot a kite while we was on lockdown, to the homie Frog, and Frog had one of his homies in the cell with him. And I guess dude did some foul shit in another prison. So, he knew that he was going to have to get cracking. And, I never met Frog from 190, like, face to face, but everything I heard about him was good, was real. I used to fuck with his homeboy J-Bone. You know what I'm saying? I know Gangsta, my nigga, man. Gangsta, my nigga, Lil Bamboo. So, one night those, I always had a relationship with them. So, dude knew that he was gonna have to get cracking. Frog wasn't having it. You feel me? Like, man, you either gonna get cracking on this dude, either this dude telling the truth, or you gonna have to get cracking. So before we ended up coming off lockdown, man, this dude played a cold game on us. He acted like his stomach was like, something was wrong with his stomach, man. He couldn't breathe and all this old shit, man. And in prison, man, when you on lockdown and one of the homies get the bamming on the door, and if it's a homie, and you know what I'm saying, first you'll hear the bamming, man, call man down. We don't want to lose no real homies and shit, man. So Whenever you hear a homie say "man down" and he bamming on the door, you know, it could be anything, man. He could be having a heart attack. It could be anything, man. So all the Crips start banging on their door, bam, 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 down. Police come up in there, man, and they pulled dude up out the cell. I couldn't see from the cell I was at. I couldn't see. I'm like, who was that? They're like, man, that's Frog Sally, man. Frog. I'm like, all right. They cuff him up. Once he get to the tunnel to go out the building, I see him straighten up. I said, well, damn, man, don't look like nothing wrong with him. And he leave, and about 30 minutes later, man, the police come running up in there, man. They get my whole crew, man. Me, Frog, and C-Rag from 30s. Dusty from 7-6 East Coast. It was like about 8 or 9 of us, man, when they came in there and got, man. Everybody that was, that was basically on the same team. And, this dude had dropped a kite on us, man, and said that we had knives on us and that we was going to take off on the police due to Tookie Williams' execution date. And they came and got us, man. They had got a couple of weapons out of my cell, but they wasn't sharpened. Yeah, but Frog had all our shit that had points on them. Frog had all them in his cell, and that nigga told police that where Frog had them at and everything, man. They got us on the wall. They got the knives. You know what I'm saying? We getting into it with the police outside the building. You know what I'm saying? Because the homie Dusty leg wasn't right at the time. They was like, they was fucking with Dusty, so we started banging on them and shit. Nigga, fuck y'all, But man, it was crazy, man. Like I said, I done seen a lot of things on YouTube, man. A lot of people, man, talking about prison, talking about how the blacks are scared of the Mexicans, which is far from the truth, man. They're commanded to instructed to all be a certain way. Blacks, I done been on yards with some of my own homies, and they I'm militant because I like to carry knives. To certain ones I done been around, but I didn't make it mandatory. Like, as long as you don't run out, if you gonna fight, you gonna fight, stay down and fight. Then that's cool with me. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm drawing blood, but yeah. So it was I trip off of how and I'm gonna talk some more on that. How people be talking about blacks, operating in prison, man, and how it was when I was in there. I couldn't tell you how it is now. It didn't all change. We all know it didn't change, but I done been in situations where the blacks and the Mexicans get into it, and the Mexicans may get the better stick on the blacks, and guess what? They don't send none of them nowhere. Them same Mexicans, they keep them on the yard. But let it be like 3 or 4 blacks that get cracking, that shut it down, they gonna kick you out the prison. And that's exactly what they did with me, Frog, and the crew. They said, oh, no, we gotta get these niggas up out of here. And in that case, it was sad because it ain't that many soldiers that really care enough about they people, man, that's gonna fight a certain way. I used to get so angry when I knew it was on with the Mexicans, because I'm like, I felt it wasn't no crip or no blood stuff, man. It was the fact that I was a black man, that you want to kill me or try to kill me because I'm a black man. And guess what? It ain't nothing I can do about it. You know, nothing that I can do about it, man. I can't even paint my face white. If I paint my face white, I would still be looked at as a black man. Can't hide it, can't do nothing about it. But, you know, they kept us in the hole until they figured out to get rid of us. You know, because they was, kind of terrified of the fact that these blacks right here, and they Crips, they just might try to do something if Tookie get executed. And I'm gonna keep it real, at that time, nobody was really talking about doing anything. You gotta know this, a lot of people didn't know Tookie. So, some people didn't know, you wouldn't know how to fight that if you didn't understand the history of it. And then being that Tookie was doing a lot of good things before he passed away. You just had, especially the young, just didn't understand or know what to do. You know, I ran into his son in Salinas Valley. Good dude, man. I think he had came from another prison, I can't remember. And he stopped there. I remember him telling me, because he was in the building that I was in Salinas Valley when he got to Salinas Valley, and he told me that they stopped at San Quentin, put him in the cage, and when they found out who he was, they let him see his daddy. They brought his daddy down. That was cool. Brought his daddy to the cage and let him talk. And that was cool. Little Tookie was a good dude, like I said. I had only knew him for a little short period of time when he came there. But, man, it's a good thing, man, to know what kind of journey that you on. Because if you don't know what kind of journey that you on, you're not going to understand what kind of person to be. And in my case, what kind of man to be. I appreciate the time that I did. I appreciate the other men, you know, Crips and Blood, who I did time around. I appreciate them. I hope everybody is doing well. 2025. Shout out to Big Tookie, man. I hope this year, man, that we can all be better at loving one another, man. Seriously, man. As black people, man, everything is against us, man. I get tired of seeing it. I get tired of feeling it, man. It's not a good feeling, man. Love over hate. And to all my West LA homies, I love y'all, man. I want everybody to win. All we gotta do is just come together. PokeMitchell out of here, man. We gonna do this, man. Hey, shout out to my homegirl Puppet, man. We need you home. Yo, Insane. We need you home. You know, change is good, man. Without change, we don't get a chance to start over.